God bless everyone.
The Four Leaf Clover podcast is sponsored by Planet Celtic.
Easy work. Easy work.
It's Red Wine Wednesdays at the Four Leaf Clover podcast. It finishes Celtic 6, Dundee 0. Andy, unbelievable performance for the gentleman this evening, eh?
There's no red wine in this truck, mate. I've got bars, extra cola, mate. That's my tipple.
There's plenty here, don't worry.
I'll make up for it at the weekend, don't worry. I'm just what's giving me the creeps, mate, as I thought we got into the game is right outside my window here. I'd lift the laptop up and show you, but it's a bit too dark now. I sent you a video of the rats outside my door. Give me the creeps, mate. Honestly, and I'm going to need to get up in the morning and check my trailer and all that, and I'm going to be running about like a wee fairy, going, I absolutely hate rats. I can't stand them, man. So, I know they're outside my door. Anyway, on to the game. I wasn't expecting that. I went for 4-0, I think I had 4-0 in my head. So, but that was just something else. This was going back to the days of Celtic pre-season and the start of the season. We're playing some really slick football, relentless, and an absolute joy to watch. Joy to watch, mate.
Aye, Paddy, watching Glasgow Celtic putting on the style. Unbelievable tonight.
Brilliant, mate. And just lift the gloom of the post transfer window. Over the last couple of days, the atmosphere has not been great. People have been, a bit browned off with the way it finished. But what a way to blow away the cobwebs there. It just shows you that, on our night, when our big players play and perform the way they can do, we'll just blow away the opposition in Scotland. It's as simple as that. We were just too strong, all over the park. And, I still maintain that there was only parts of the game that we were in full throttle. We were in third gear for a lot of the time. I don't know what we would have looked like if we had actually have hit top gear, but just fantastic and great to see.
Paddy, who needs strikers when we can score 6 goals every game? Peter Lawwell was right. Don't worry about it. He'll be sitting there saying to Brendan the Roof, I told you we didn't need any strikers. Who needs strikers when you've got wingers? Yeah. We will get into it. Gentlemen, Andy, the starting lineup, mate, the big shock there on the left-hand side, my good man. I wasn't expecting Jota to start this evening, but he did, and he was brilliant, mate.
I think we were told before just as he signed that his fitness wouldn't be quite up to speed, and be a bit patient with him, and it's going to take him a few weeks to get up to speed with the whole get his game legs and that going again. But he's certainly impressed against Motherwell. I think you were looking at him saying he looks perfectly fine to me in the night. Very surprised to see him start, to be honest with you. But delighted. Really delighted. And then obviously Kuhn was rested, and Dyson's on the right hand side, and another man that is so important to our side. I think that Hugo's gone now and stuff like that. He was quite important to us as well when it comes to scoring goals. But Maida, he's overall what he gives the team, can't be matched with anybody. I haven't seen anybody, and I mean anybody in football that puts so much effort and commitment into playing every single game than Maida. He's just unbelievable when it comes to goals. He's tracking back his defensive side of the game as well. I mean, it's just he's so important to our team. But again, back to Jota, good to see him starting at Paradise, and overall had a good game.
Aye, we had a quick chat about Maida in the green room. On the group chat, didn't we, mate? And I think Celtic should just get him tied down on a long-term deal. And I'd be absolutely devastated if he left, mate, because you're bang on. There isn't a player like him in world football. So, Paddy, starting lineup, mate, the big surprise, obviously, for everybody, I think, was Jota starting. But any other sort of surprises in there for you, mate?
No, not for me, Scotty. Just pretty much what we would have shouted. Only I did think they would start Kuhn instead of Jota because we were at Fir Park on Sunday. Was at the game. and you could see that he's just not fully up to speed yet. Peter Grant said that in the halftime interval. There is a difference between football fitness and fitness. You have to get your legs under you. And he did look a bit leggy, at Fir Park on Sunday. That's no surprise. So I was kind of shocked. But then again, big crowd, home game, middle of the week. Maybe Brenda's just thinking, if we get an hour out of him, or 55 minutes, whatever, 10 minutes into the second half, if he goes to there, we'll get a few minutes in. So that will be absolutely brilliant for him to get just over an hour there, whatever it was he got there. But no, not for us, Scotty. We sort of more or less called that team as well earlier on this evening, but we would have had Kuhn in instead of Jota, but just delighted to see him start the game.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. We'll get into it, lads. A couple of nice wee flicks, tricks, and all the old stuff coming back into the game. It was brilliant to see. So I don't know if everybody else in the comments had the same sort of issues we had with Celtic TV, but the first sort of 15 minutes, we were just catching bits of it, folks. So we'll do our best to get through that as best we can. On the second minute, Hatate tries a sort of pass come shot, Andy, sort of through to Maeda. It was a brilliant sort of half shot, half pass, whatever it was he was trying. But Carson was sort of all at sea anyway, and very unlucky. Great ball for Hatate.
Mate, I didn't see that. I only caught after 16 minutes, so I can't even comment on it, mate. But
this is what I'm saying.
Just when you mentioned Hatate, I think maybe the last 2 or 3 games, his commitment and his determination to press and to fight for the ball back as well has been absolutely unbelievable. And I'd actually pointed out on Hatate weeks before that, just goals we've lost that he seemed to kind of be a bit half-arsed at try to get back to win the ball back, or at least put yourself in between the defender and the goal. But yeah, what a change over the last 2 or 3 games we had. I think his passing's been on point for especially the night. But I think we know he's a fantastic passer. I think he had a great game tonight, and recently he's really been on top of his game with us. But what I've noticed with Hatate is always thought he was a wee bit kind of lazy at times, like as if he couldn't be asked. I noticed a big difference for him in the last few games. He seems right up for it. So, where credit's due. As much as I've kind of gave him a bit of stick, but I think he's slacking a wee bit here and there. I think it's been fantastic in recent games. But unfortunately, I didn't see what you're talking about.
No, it's fine, mate. Paddy, did you catch that? It was a sort of shot-come pass sort of thing through to Maeda, and Carson didn't really know what to do, mate, did he? It was a great try by Hatate, to be fair.
It was superb vision from him, Scotty, to see the opportunity, and I think both goalkeeper and Maeda, I think they were both scared of getting clattered by each other. I think that's what it was. I think they were both sort of thinking, right, who's going to get thumped here? But literally, I know Andy didn't see it, but Maeda was inches away from making a connection, and he's literally just like a yard on this side of the post. Like if he makes any kind of connection there, he scores. But the vision from Hatate and the pass was just world class. And as I say, we were literally inches from scoring there.
Aye, no pace that Maeda.
Sorry, mate. I just want to say something about Maeda. Sorry for interrupting you. It's just it might be a godsend for us that Maeda never played against Villa and he's going to miss out in this first game against Munich, because if he plays the way he played tonight in recent games, he's putting himself in the short window there. So it's maybe a blessing in disguise when it comes to that. For all right, he's going to play in the second game, but it's just that just came into my mind there. Sorry for kind of taking you away from what you were talking about.
No, don't worry about it, mate. And Paddy, I was just going to say to you as well, because Andy sort of missed it, was Jota started very well, didn't he, mate, in that first 15 minutes? There was a couple of nice little tricks and flicks, and him and Taylor linked up very well in that first sort of 15 minutes, pal, didn't he?
They did, Scotty, and it just it was so obvious even on Sunday, when we were at Fir Park, like, it's just as if the guy's never been away. He's just slotted back in. I know that there's quite a few of the players there that are new to him and stuff, but it's literally just, to see him on the left-hand side in the first, I can remember being, there his first game at Celtic Park when we first saw him, when he first came into the side, and, it just looked like as though he was rolling back the years there. It's just great to see, and, You know, there's a couple of times there you sort of had to pinch yourself and say, it's really difficult to believe that he's back. You know, what a signing this guy's going to be. And, and this is him with somebody said the other day, he hadn't kicked the ball for the best part of 9 months. So, he's going to need a game or two and a match or two to get himself up to game speed. But what a player, the guy, he must be an absolute nightmare to defend against. You don't know where he's going to go left or drop the shoulder and come inside. And, his awareness, his vision, and even for a guy that's lacking in full match fitness, he still looked as sharp as attack in the first 10, 15 minutes. He looked a real threat down that left-hand side. And what I like about Jota is, when he gets down into the position, he can put across a killer ball. He puts some fantastic balls across it, and you're looking for somebody on the edge of the 6-yard line to go and attack the balls. But he's brilliant with the ball at his feet, and he's brilliant at digging out across from just when you think a defender has him in the corner. He digs out a great ball, so he really did look sharp early on, Scott.
He did, mate. And if that's him at 60-70%, then we're in for a bit of a treat as the rest of the season goes on. So, Andy, you came up with a belter. I was watching it on my sort of dodgy streamer here and trying to type out, watching the game and all the rest of it. It was a bit of a nightmare. And then on the 16th minute, mate, you said to me, Dundee's TV's working, Celtic TV's working. So I flicked it on, and there was a bit of confusion as I flicked it on. We didn't know what was going on. We seen the corner come in. I didn't think it was any sort of penalty. It went to VAR, and the referee gave a penalty kick. And when you look at it again, I had to watch it 2 or 3 times myself. I was thinking, is that a bloody penalty kick? And thank God it was, Andy, and the referee gave it. Penalty kick Celtic.
It was, but see the angle the referee was looking at it for the monitor, it was for a side-on angle, which wasn't the best angle. And then Celtic TV showed you the one that was coming for like the Celtic goal, but close in. For that angle, you could quite clearly see that he had already trust his jersey and he was pulling him down. But why, as far as I'm aware, why were they not looking at that angle? I know he's ended up being the decision, but it was a hard kind of angle to make a judgment for my point of view, because the incident actually took place at the other side, so the player was actually blocking where the hood was coming from. So whether they've seen it on the monitor and they weren't shown what the VAR was showing, I don't know. But anyway, for me, it was a foul. It was quite a clear one. Obviously, it's a penalty, especially when you get back to the League Cup final and you're talking about pulling jerseys in the box. Well, there you go. If that's the rule, there's the rule there, and that's why they've gave a penalty.
Paddy, it seems to be every game now we're seeing penalty kicks for on corners. Yeah. It's just obviously it's not a bit of a farce when it comes to Celtic getting them, but it just seems to be every single game now there's penalty kicks for corners. It's just you could give a penalty kick for every single corner kick that comes in if you stopped it for VAR. When you look at it, folk are jostling everywhere. Folk are on top of the goalkeepers are pushing players off of the players that are blocking. It's just something needs to get done. But did you think it was a penalty kick at first sight, mate, or did you have to have a few looks at it like myself?
We were the same, Scott. It's one of those ones where you're thinking, right, what's going on here? And then I thought initially it was an injury because the guy was down, and then I sort of couldn't believe it because there definitely was a foul. The guy had the hold of his jersey, but as a scuffle or whatever you want to call it, they end up both having a hold of each other's jerseys, and that's what I thought would happen. I thought the referee's going to look at this and say it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Definitely there is a bit of jostling, and the guy had sort of a hold of his jersey. You can see it clearly. You can see him pulling the jersey up his back. You can see Trusty's back. But I thought it was. I agree 100% with Gillian. I thought it was a soft one, but we talked about it earlier on this season on the pod. When you think of some of the penalties that we've had, it's not any softer than some of the ones that we've had against us. The one at Tynecastle, the one against Dundee United, against Burnaby, those were incredibly soft. So it's just one of those, Scotty. Like as you say, we saw 10 incidents, or we saw 10 replays of it from different angles, and I didn't really see one that was conclusive to say, why it's an absolute stick-on penalty there. I wouldn't have been surprised if it came to the decision that just let it be. Because it did look a bit like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But you know what? Again, we've been told down through the years these things even themselves out. So maybe that's one tonight that evens itself out for us.
I was actually watching Dundee TV for that penalty kick, and then I flicked it back out to Celtic TV, and the guys on Dundee TV said if that was at the other end, would Dundee have got a penalty? And I'll be honest with you, I don't think they would have. I
totally disagree with that. Honestly, I do. See if you actually look at it, he's got a hold him up here.
He has.
And then as a defender, or the Dundee player starts to fall, he's also got a hold him down here. And if you look at it, you can see him actually pulling it. And that's how Trusty almost ends up on his knees.
Yeah.
Because it's pulled down.
Just saying at first, it looked soft at first for me, but I'm not caring because Celtic got it anyway. Celtic got it. So
whether it's a soft or it's pretty obvious. It's a foul at the end of the day and it's inside the box, so it's a penalty. Like the Dundee commentators can say whatever they want. I mean, a foul's a foul, and it would have went to VAR. It would have went to VAR, and I bet you it would have been given, especially against Celtic. It would have been given.
Maybe. But anyway, Engels steps up, Andy, and a brilliant penalty kick this time. Trevor Carson guessed right, down to his right hand side, but the power beats him, mate. The power beats him. A great penalty from Engels. 1-0 Celtic.
Aye, delighted to see him on the score sheet again. He's a trusted penalty taker, isn't he? So the keeper really no chance with that, but just delighted for us to get the goal, and obviously Engels to. I don't even know how many penalties he scored, but I know he's only missed one. But technically he's missed two. There was a retake up at Ross County, so that didn't count. But I think he certainly knows how to slot a penalty away, which is good to have in our team.
Aye, and Paddy, it was nice to see him not do that stupid wee Ronaldo sort of shimmy this time. He'd down, battered it in, and Carson no chance.
We had a wee sort of side bet going before he took it. Was he going to do the wee stutter step, or what way is he going to do it? And I like my penalties exactly how he took it. That's pick your corner, hit it low and hard, and if you do that, you run the risk of scoring an easy penalty, and that's exactly what he done. The big man just made it look easy. And I think that got him off to a brilliant start. It got Engels off to a brilliant start, and he just continued on from there. But that's the way to take them. That's the way to do it.
That's it, mate. That's it. And then, Andy, it was complete domination after that. We know much happening, to be fair, towards the goal. 32nd minute, Calmack breaks down the right-hand side. He gets away from the defender. Eventually, as he plays it across, it falls to Hatate, and he tries to run through the whole Dundee defence, I think, to try and get somewhere, but to no avail. Then 4 minutes later, AJ plays a great ball through the defence. He splits two defenders perfectly. Ida breaks down the right-hand side, but his decision-making is terrible. He fires it across the 6-yard box, and there is nobody there. Then a couple of minutes later, Hatate plays a nice ball into Ida. Nice touch for the big man. Could have probably finished it, but he feels a touch in the back, and he goes down a bit theatrically for me. But then, just on half-time, Andy, Ida finally gets a message, and he celebrates a goal. Taylor plays a great ball through to Ida. He tries the Romario toe poke. It falls to Jota. He strikes it. Great save, by the way. It falls to Ida again. And what a finish for the big man. And he does the old knee slide and finally gets the memo, mate, to celebrate at Celtic Park.
Aye, he certainly found his form when it comes to hitting the net, hadn't he? It was a bit of a toe poke, and the keeper done well to save day too, actually, for him. First one for him, and then the second one for Jota. So the keeper done well there. But Ida was on hand to get the rebound for that Jota shot, and he just fires it into the kind of roof of the net. So, again, delighted for him, because I think he thrives on getting goals for his confidence, and for him, he's the main man for us now when it comes to strikers, albeit we get goals for every part of our kind of front line. It seems to be, certainly for the wings anyway. And with the addition of Jota as well, I think his threat tonight was absolutely unbelievable. So he was a bit unfortunate not to score that rebound, but Big Ida, I think, hopefully he knows he's the main man, and this is his time to stand up. And, if he's felt frustrated in the past at being on the bench because of Kyogo, then this is his chance. So go and do it. And listen, you can't fault him. He's kind of stood up to the plate, and he's been firing in the goals the last few games. So long may it continue.
Yeah, and Paddy, as Andy rightly said there, he's got the jersey now, so he's got to keep it. We have got the option of putting Kuhn on the right, Jota on the left, and playing Maeda through the front. So he's got that. He's got that on his tail. He's got Maeda who can play in there, but he's certainly doing the business. And it was good to see him. It was good to see that emotion when he scored the night. To be fair, which we haven't seen before. He's kind of been sort of head down and just. I think he's been frustrated with that 13 goal no scoring streak that he was on. And I think he was a bit frustrated. I think Andy called it out in a couple of podcasts beforehand that the big man was a bit frustrated with that. And now he just needs to, keep this run of goals up now and keep that jersey, mate.
That's it, Scotty. It's a very simple logic for Armida from here on in. Just stick the ball in the net. That's all you have to do. Keep sticking the ball in the back of the net. And you cannot ask for any more than what the big man's done over the last couple of games. Aston Villa, I thought he was outstanding. Motherwell again on Sunday and again tonight. You can't ask any more from the big guy. Just get yourself in there. We talked about him earlier on in the season about going in, getting in where it hurts, and that's exactly what he's done. He started to get into in where the goals are scored, in around that edge of the 6-yard box. For me earlier on, he was far too far away from the action. So. Whether or not that the pressure of battling for place with Kyogo had a lot to do with it, probably, but he did say in an interview either yesterday or today that he wasn't at least a bit bothered with Celtic not buying another striker because he's the man for the job. So that's absolutely fine. I've no issue with that whatsoever. And that's for Adam Media now. It's very, very simple. He has to just do what he done this time last year. He has to come up with the goals that he scored last year and propel us towards the title and hopefully a treble. And that's all he has to do. And what he's done over the last few games is just perfect. And he gives you a different option from Kyogo. He gives you that physical presence there. And to be fair to him, even the way that he finished his couple of goals, both goals against Villa, the other goal that put us back 2-1 against Motherwell, and that goal tonight, fair enough. Yeah, the ball, he got the break of the ball, but he fair rattled it in. You know what I mean? There's no arguing with that. And that's all he needs to do now. Just focus on being a number 9 and being a Celtic number 9 and hit the target. And if he keeps hitting the ball, he keeps putting the ball in the back of the net, the Celtic fans will be happy enough.
Yeah, mate. And Vinny there, good to see you, Vinny, mate. Dundee had a player in the line when he just scored, so why was a VAR check? I seen Peter Grant talking about this at half-time as well on Celtic TV. I believe every single goal, regardless, gets checked on VAR. I think that's a new rule. This season especially, so it's when there is a goal it gets checked regardless, mate, so I believe that is the case. So Andy,
it might have been something to do with the fact that Ida had the first shot that was deflected, and then his position when Jota came in and had the shot as well. I think they were maybe looking back to the play right before the goal, but as you said, they do it for everyone anyway.
He gets checked anyway, mate, regardless. So that's the reason. I heard Peter Grant talking about it, and he should know better, getting paid these fortunes off Celtic TV. He should know these things. So 2-0 half time, Andy, and it should have been a lot more. We completely dominated that first half. Like I said, mate, it should have been 3, 4, 5. There was a sort of lull between the first goal and sort of half time. But job done, mate. I was very happy to go in at 2-0 yourself.
Delighted, always delighted when Celtic got ahead at half time, especially the way we played as well, because I thought we looked right up for it. Maybe that wee bit in the first half that you just mentioned there, but you take that the game overall and the work ethic for every single player and how they were swarming round trying to get the ball back when they never had it, which was very seldom, by the way, because I think we had about 85% possession tonight, which is pretty unbelievable. I think probably more shots in the first half would have been good, more attempts at target. But when Celtic are in that mood, they're playing really slick football. There's a lot of passes going on as well. So maybe that you're not going to get as many shots as if we need to get a goal here, somebody just take a shot. But we're very confident in our movement and our passes and stuff like that. So absolutely delighted to go in ahead at the break.
Aye, and Paddy, it was just brilliant to see. It was fluent, it was relentless. But as Andy said, maybe not enough shots on goal, and sort of final third was lacking a wee bit. But the midfield defence knocking it about beautifully. It was great to see, and Jota and Taylor linking up well as well down that left hand side.
Brilliant. And the important thing, Scotty, was Dundee had almost made it to half time. They were almost there, and that would have been their game plan, to restrict us to possibly one goal or probably no goals until half time. So, a real kick in the guts for Dundee to lose that goal at the stage that it was. As Andy mentioned earlier, I think by that stage we were up around 79%. When you could have been going in at half time with almost 80% possession and only leading by one penalty kick. So just fantastic to see the second goal going in, take the pressure off, and just really pile the pressure on Dundee, because you just knew that they were just trying to battle their way through to half time to get in and get Tony Docherty to have a word with them and regroup and come out with a game plan to battle their way through the second half. But a massive kick in the guts for Dundee, but a massive boost for us right on the half-time whistle.
What I would say, sorry, Scotty, what I would say is that that's their second 6-0 defeat. Now that's 2 6-0 defeats back to back, and I kind of feel sorry for Tony Docherty, because I think he's a good coach, and he actually had Dundee playing some good stuff at one point. I think they've suffered a wee bit injury-wise, and I think that's maybe the problem. But so it's a bit of a kick in the guts for them. But anyway, who cares? It's all about us.
Yeah.
Aye, just jumping on them, mate. I've watched a few of their games this season. They have been actually quite decent to watch. I watched them against Dundee United in the Cup, I think it was. It was a brilliant game of football for a neutral to watch. The 3 each against us. They've done really well, mate, and he is a good wee manager. But like you said, I think they've had like 10 injuries and all that sort of stuff, and he's been struggling. But it's a shame that they've actually lost 6-0 the last 2 games. Like you said, they're a decent wee outfit and a hard-working team, and I'm sure they'll turn it around. They're not going to be in any danger to go down or anything like that. It's just a wee blurb at the minute, I would imagine. So, Andy, 55th minute, what an unbelievable ball from Jota. Taylor into Jota, skins his man, floats a lovely ball in. Maeda with a header yet again, 3-0. 17 goals now in all competitions from the wee man, and he moves on to be our new top goal scorer. What a ball in from Jota, mate. Unbelievable.
Maeda has been on fire this season, and that ball for Jota is something that you don't get, and I said it in the chat, that's what you don't get for Palma, and that's what you don't get for Yang. You don't get that end product, which is setting up a goal. You just don't see enough of it, and that's the difference. That's the difference when it comes to level of players, because obviously we've seen Jota do stuff like that before, because we've seen him in the team, and he's scored plenty of goals, but he's also very good at assisting goals as well. It was an absolutely fantastic ball, just floated into the back post, and that man Dyson just popping in there, sneaking into the back with a header. He's just, I love him. I do. I absolutely love Maeda. It's just that, how can you not love him? He's just one of the get what he does for the team. I mean, forget his goals, right? But his whole work ethic and stuff like that, I can't say it enough. He's just an absolute credit to our team. We're so lucky to have him, and I would be absolutely devastated if he went. I know people are upset about Kyogo gone, and I said it at the time. I'd be more concerned if it was Dyson that went, because we won't realise how much we miss him. He's not on the team. But it's good to see him coming in with another header. And just when I spoke about it in the last podcast, about we're not really knowing him about kind of scoring me headers, but he's actually scored a few. And I mentioned that one at Celtic Park. Might have been against Hibs, where he actually rocketed into the back of the net. That was another one, but slightly just at the back post. Great to see him I always love to see him score. He's just brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant.
He certainly is, and you seen his movement, Paddy, as well for the goal. You know, he was basically stood still when that ball came in, and he's that quick, mate. He got onto it, but just we touched on it at the half-time analysis here, Paddy. Taylor and Jota were linking up beautifully, I thought, in the first half, and they linked up again, and just flashes 60% Jota doing stuff like that, mate. Can't wait till he's 100%.
Oh, unbelievable, and it shows you that's just what Andy said there. You know. And I'm not knocking Palma or I'm not knocking Yang, because especially they work hard, and I think Yang has done his bit recently, but it shows you the quality that Jota produces, and that's what it is. Both left and right, he can go down the wing, he can cut back in, and like as Andy said, it's not even just it's the quality of the ball, and he makes it actually easy for Maeda. He just all days, and the pace is all on the ball. it's into an area where the goalkeeper can't come for it. It's over the heads of the centre half, you know, and all really Maida has to do is just take a couple of steps there and just use the pace on the ball and direct it in. Just brilliant link-up play, but, you know, again, just a wee flash of what Jota can produce, you know, and it's just quality, absolute quality in the final third. And that, I think that goal there just absolutely knocked the stuffing out of Dundee at that stage.
Aye, and Paul McKeon there, he's saying Maida grew his hair and became a better finisher. I seen our Simon Donnelly, friend of the show, mentioned that as well, and hopefully he's got a mullet by the end of the season and he'll bang in about 60 next season. That would be nice. Get that hair grown away, man. Get it grown out a wee bit longer. So Andy, 2 minutes later, Maida yet again. Engels in the sort of right back position. Plays a great ball through, mate. Just unbelievable pass. It was like Hatate's pass for a couple of weeks ago, mate. Just a world class ball. And the wee man who had all the time in the world, to be honest with you, could have took 3, 4, 5 touches. First time, mate, lifts it over Carson. Goal of the season contender, 4-0 Celtic.
It's got to be up there. And it's something that we've kind of mentioned about Dyson, that sometimes in situations like that, he could maybe have skied out of the bar, but look, he's been absolutely on fire for us this season. A fantastic ball for Engels, who had a cracking game the night. I thought Engels was fantastic. And as you said, it's great to have the two in the middle of the park that can ping balls like that. You know, see when they own their game, it's so dangerous. Whether it's going to be down one side to Kuhn or Dyson if he's there, or Jota, we've got good guys that are receiving the balls and can do magical stuff with it. Dyson, Maida scoring that second goal, I thought it was fantastic. It was an absolutely brilliant goal. Great move.
Unbelievable, Paddy, wasn't it? Just the ball for Engels and the finish, just sublime, mate. Absolutely sublime.
Great to see you, my man Engels. I've been telling everybody, stick with this guy. This guy's going to be brilliant for us. He's just now starting to show it again. He had that wee spell where he looked as though he was off it, but the last 2 or 3 games he's been different class. You saw his ball for the goal that Jota scored at Motherwell on Sunday. We were literally right behind that, and you could just see him. You could just see him arcing that ball around the defender for Maida. And again there tonight, you know, just he's in the right back position and he takes a few steps and he just gets the ball out of his feet. What a pass! You know, as you say, Scotty, very similar to the slide rule pass that Hatate set up Ida against Young Boys.
Yeah.
In the European game, just a brilliant pass. But then, you know what, Dyson still has a lot of work to do there. He's in there, you know, and does he have the composure? And you know, just what a finish! You know, just like Henrik Larsson-esque finish, absolutely brilliant finish, just to be able to lob the keeper there, you know. And as Andy says, for a guy that has ran and covered so much ground and worked hard, you know, you're thinking there the legs might be a bit heavy there, and you know, but just what a run, what a finish, and just, you know, just on easy street at that stage.
Brilliant. Just before we continue, we've got 200 people watching us at the minute. Andy, I just want to touch on something quickly. If you're a new watcher this evening, we've had 500 subscribers join this channel in the last month, which has been absolutely unbelievable, really. I've not seen numbers like it in my life. Andy, just give the new viewers, you know, a wee briefing on the podcast so far, mate. How far we've came in such a short space of time.
I don't know, mate. I've only just joined tonight. What's happening? So basically, our first podcast was a post-match against Hibs, and it was 11th of August. And we brought Paddy and Jerry in. Absolutely delighted to have them on board. And the channel's just absolutely grew. So we're delighted to have people that are willing to come on and watch us talk about Celtic, just ordinary fans, just giving a point of view. And it also, what's quite enjoyable is when we're watching in StreamYard, we're seeing all the comments coming up on the right-hand side, and there's actually a good conversation going on between the viewers as well, which is good to see. Obviously, we try and get as much comments up as we can. But we miss we might miss a few, so apologies for that, but we can't get every single one up, but we appreciate every single person that comes on here and watches us. So it's been unbelievable the amount of support we've had off people. So we absolutely appreciate every single person that's pressed that wee sub button. So just a big thank you. But aye, mate, it's, we had a target to, whether it was realistic or no, but we were going to try and get to 1,000 before Christmas time on New Year, and we done it well before that. And as you say there, the last month, we've smashed through the 500 sub number. So sorry, mate, my mind just went blank there. I couldn't think of what I was thinking. I think I'm feeling my shift working on me now. So I'm feeling. Sorry, guys.
It's been brilliant. And if this is your first time, please like, share, and subscribe. Press that subscribe button. We're just fan media that we're just fans that sit down and have a chat about the game and give our wee funny segments and things like that. We're on a Wednesday night, a Friday night, and we do every post match that we can do. Our Kaiser, who's hopefully joining us in a minute, has started his own show as well. He's doing a Tuesday and a Thursday from 11:30 a.m. UK time. So it's just the podcast flying. And Paddy, you joined us from the very beginning as well. Just give us your thoughts and what it's been like for you, mate, since you've joined the podcast.
It's been unbelievable, Scotty. Absolutely unbelievable. And it's just a pleasure to be part of the whole thing. And, as we say, we don't want to fall out with anybody. All we do is give our honest opinion on all things that are happening with Celtic. We're never picking on anybody, or we're not doing anything like that. We're just guys who are giving our viewpoint. And there's nothing better than seeing the feedback from the viewers as well in terms of the comments and stuff like that. So it's been an unbelievable journey so far, and it's gone way beyond what any of us would have expected so far. So we're just looking to build on that. So anybody who's maybe watching for the first time, we're trying to give you content that you'll enjoy. And I think when you see the number of people who come in regularly, we see the names coming up. So you can see that we're building up our own wee community, which is fantastic. And that community is beginning to grow. And that's because people are obviously telling their friends and their pals and sharing, and just continue to do that, because that's what it is. As I say, we're not experts by any manner of means or anything like that, so we're just ordinary guys with jobs to do, and we're trying to do our own thing as well. So just keep motoring, folks. Keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing. And let's help the podcast grow even further.
And there is the main man.
I'm so sorry, I'm so late, legends. As I was, Big Baz invited me over there on One Celtic Fans View. As we all know, he's like 20-odd thousand subscribers on YouTube. So anytime he invites me over there, I always jump in. Guilty by association, I suppose. It backwashes over here. Hopefully, the people will follow over and check out. I certainly try to make sure I mention the lads. So what are you up to? I'm very sorry, legends. I'm very sorry, chat. What is? I missed the full thing.
Just a bit, mate. You're just about to see Bernardo and Kuhn come on for Jota and Calmac in the 61st minute, mate. But just before that, just to get you up to speed, Kaiser, what did you think of the first sort of hour? Breathtaking football, 2 or 3 contenders for goal of the season as well, mate. Just fantastic to see, and Jota on fire as well, mate.
Yes, look, my man, One Celtic Fan Views ultra section there, getting me out for cheating, leaving Baz. Very sorry, right, legends. Yeah, the first hour, absolutely amazing sexual football tonight. So much to talk about. Pick of the goals for me, Maeda's lob, the way Jota built it from the left back position, the way he retained possession, the way Callum McGregor was pointing at the keeper for him to go back to the keeper, pass the ball back, and Jota hits Callum with the ball instead. Harping back to that attacking direct football. Absolutely amazing. As I said, lads, all night long I was watching the game just in awe. Lots of people were miserable at the end of the January window pane and whatnot. I was a bit more positive. The streamlined squad. Sometimes the big man closes a door and he lets you peek in a window. And what a window he's let us peek in tonight. Absolutely sexual performance from Celtic. fluid up front. Daisamida starts on the right, ends up on the left. The substitutes coming on, utterly outstanding. The goals, Arne Engels' goal, the power. Okay, it takes a little nick off a player, but what power in the shot. Slows right into the top corner. I believe it's called a thunder bastard. A thunder bastard. You get right into the top corner. Absolutely outstanding, man. Outstanding. I'm so sorry he came in and pure over ball.
Kaiser, you're jumping the gun here. We're on the 60-odd minute here. We're not even got to Engels' goal yet. Don't come in here and
you're not even got there yet. Just because you said the first door.
You've covered the whole game. We're just ready to say Churiona.
So Andy, as Kaiser said, on the 71st minute, unbelievable goal from Engels. We were knocking the ball about for fun, mate. Taylor finds Engels on the end of the area. He tries one. It's probably going out, to be honest with you, and there was a cracking deflection off it. And as Kaiser said, the power took it in. What a goal for Engels. 5-0 Celtic.
Aye, brilliant. It was a great strike, and it did take a deflection off the player, which kind of looked at just under the bar, but a great finish. Good to see Engels score that, and it's not a penalty. So delighted for him.
Aye, brilliant, Paddy. Just the fact that he tried it in the first place. We had the ball for about 10 minutes before that. Just knocking it about. Taylor passes the ball again into Engels. Engels tries a shot. We did slight deflection, but right in the top corner again, mate. Unbelievable goal.
It was surely, and the dip. It was a dip on the ball, and we didn't realise until we saw. I think it was the third replay we saw. We saw the nick of the Dundee defender, which actually caused the ball to dip. But again, just something that we've been saying all season long about. No matter who's in the midfield, McGregor, Hatate, Bernardo, Engels, whatever, we don't shoot often enough when we're in that situation. We still take the option to pass. So just brilliant to see Engels. And, the big man has it in his locker. He's had a few sighters, in other games this season. He's not just quite hit the target, but that's his first one from distance, and it'll be the first of many.
Aye. And in the 72nd minute, Kenny and Schlupp were on for Ida and Taylor. And on the 78th minute, McCowan came on and Hatate off. So I'll come to you then, Kaiser, about Rio Hatate.
Yeah.
Andy touched on it earlier. You weren't here, mate, but he what a performance for Rio Hatate again. He's come on to a game, mate, hasn't he, in the past few games? Andy's called it.
Yeah, showed lots of things about his game tonight. So industrious, the work rate, chasing people about, shutting down his movement, his passing. Rio Hatate of old. I even heard the crowd singing the Rio Hatate song as well. It's been a while since I heard that one, so it shows his performance. The fact that the January window's closed and he's delivering these performances. Every player wants to play in this next game, this Bayern game. Every single player wants to be there. I mean, you've got to be running through walls to be there. 110%, I would be. So I know they're going to be this kind of performance. We're going to get every game in the lead up to this is going to be this kind of utter destruction of teams. And I just hope we can keep it going. Bayern should be very, very fearful, in my opinion. We're going to do them.
Aye. But again, mate, before you come on, we were talking about Jota, and we thought he was, by all intents and purposes, was at 60%, according to the reports, but he looked a lot more than 60% tonight. So if he can get some game time at the weekend again and come on all firing against Bayern, anything's possible, really, lads. Anything's possible at all. We look fantastic, and I know it's Dundee, but Dundee are no great shakes. They're normally defensively very sound. I know they get pumped 6-0 at the weekend off Hearts. I know they get pumped 6-0 off us the night. Folk will say, stop talking shite. 12 goals conceded and none. But before that, they've been pretty solid. And they did set up all right in that first half. And obviously it fell apart for them. But Andy, just unbelievable tonight. And then on the 81st minute, Kuhn plays a 1-2 with AJ. And he just bends another one into the top corner again. It felt like it was goal of the season competition at Celtic Park tonight. Unreal finish, mate. 6-0.
It was a good interaction with AJ there. But how many times have we seen that for Kuhn, particularly this season? That same kind of move for the same area, and he just sticks it in the back of the net. I think he's people, I've seen some comments about Kuhn, maybe justified over the last few weeks. They feel as if his levels have dropped down a wee bit. This is the kind of stuff this guy can pull out of locker. I think people are touting him for player of the season this season. I think quite rightly so. Dyson Maida's got to be up there as well. I think he's got to be. So the fact we've got at least two players at this moment in contention for player of the year says it all. A player who gets a bit of stick when you're talking about Maida, and a player in Kuhn who last season didn't have the greatest time for reasons that we all know about now. But we're seeing a player now that is worth every single penny that we pay for him, and not only that, but worth a lot more, or he's going to be. And I don't want to put it all down to money, but you need to put it into context here that Germany's looking at him now. If he starts getting games for Germany, then you're on another planet with Kuhn. The fact that he's playing for us and he's in the German team, and the fact that they're looking at him says it all. You know, he's a great addition to our team. Seeing you look at our wings now, they're so strong and so dangerous. The front line, the pace, you've got the skill, the movement on both sides, and you've obviously got Maida's movement if he does play through middle or on the wing as well, whenever Jota's not playing. But Big Ida puts a shift in as well, when he can move when he wants to. It's not as if he's a big coup stunned in a field. You know, he's not a Stephen Johnson when he went to the Huns, and you'd be as well hitting a ball off a big coup in a field. He does get movement, you know what I mean, for it. And this whole, he's got a great touch for a big guy. He actually moves really quick for a big guy as well. I know he's got the demeanour of somebody that's just had about 20 joints when you hear him interviewed after the game. You know what I mean? He's so kind of laid back. I like Ida, and I think he's going to come onto a game as well. But having the wingers, especially Kuhn on either side, brilliant. Kuhn is a brilliant, very gifted player, and quick, really quick. And apparently he's quicker than Maida. Is that right?
Aye, definitely. Well, Michelle's asking where's Jerry tonight. He's actually at the game, Michelle, so he'll be on his way back.
He says he's at the game. He's at the bingo.
Aye, one of the two. So, Paddy, one of the things a couple of people's brought up the night was that Kuhn didn't celebrate when he scored. So he's obviously pissed off that he was benched tonight. This is something that I think he's going to have to get used to, because Jota's the main man. You know, he's coming back. He's cost all this money. He's the main man out of all the wingers. And I think Maida gets the jersey before Kuhn. So it's maybe something he's going to have to get used to, unless they drop Ida and play Maida through the front, as we said. But barring that, talking about that as well, good goal from Kuhn, cracking finish.
Well, the best way for him to wipe away any doubt, Scott, is to do what he done tonight. If he's continuing to score goals of that quality, it'll be a very hard man to leave out of the team as well. Just look at the options, and and this is what it is. If you look over the next, we're entering another wee spell now where we're going to be, games are coming thick and fast. So every single player in the squad's going to be needed to stand up, and not only be needed to stand up, but to produce whenever they're given the opportunity. And if you look at the options, both left and right, we may look a bit thin through the middle, but as long as Adam Ida can stay fit, we'll be all right there. But I honestly I think sometimes people read a lot into these things. His body language, and he doesn't look happy or whatever. I'm sure if you look back earlier on the season, Kuhn's expression maybe doesn't change an awful lot. He's not one of these players that seems to make a big fuss too much about anything. But listen, it's a squad game, and Brendan has already said that the players are all buying into what it is he's trying to do. So they're all supporting each other. You can see how close the squad are when the players are coming off. Both players are shaking hands with both players coming on and stuff. I have no worries about that at all. And listen, as I say, the thing about Kuhn is, if he does feel his position's under threat, and that's going to make him, produce things like that. And that's exactly what we were saying about Greg Taylor earlier on this season about, if you're bringing in quality players to push the other players, that's what's going to happen. They're going to up their game. Nicholas Kuhn's not going to just say, well, that's it, I'm finished now. I'm not going to get a game here. Nicholas Kuhn's going to stand up and say, I want the jersey. I want the jersey. And if I have to prove to Brendan And no better way to prove it than he did there tonight. What a goal. For me, might even have been the pick of the goals. Absolutely wonderful play. What a finish on his left foot. You just have to watch the replay again. Watch the Dundee goalkeeper. The guy never actually moves. He actually never moves. He just sees the ball leaving Kuhn's foot, and he's just rooted it to the spot. He knows himself that as soon as the ball leaves Kuhn's foot, he's beaten. Just a genuine world-class finish. So, you know what? As I say, that's exactly what the competition for places will do. It will push the players on. The guys who thought they maybe were in possession of the jersey, it'll push them on and it'll improve them even more.
Bang on, mate. And Paul McKeon there. Germans are regimented. Believe me, my girlfriend is one moody, appalled by Irish behaviour. Paul, I've got a date myself with a German beauty tomorrow night, so I think she'll be appalled by Scottish behaviour as well by the end of tomorrow night. So we'll see what happens.
She's got a belt to her moustache and all, by the way.
Sider Schnitzel was unbelievable.
Let's not go there, lads. Let's not go there. Kaiser, what a goal for Kuhn. But as Paddy said, he's going to have to grab the jersey. It's something we've spoke about all season. Who are these players that are going to come in and grab the jersey? Jota's come in, got his start.
Mm-hmm.
He's cemented his start.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the rest of the guys are going to have to come in and grab the jersey. And Kuhn's, although he's been there all season, he's going to have to try and come in and grab that jersey after Jota.
Yeah, he is. Sorry, the hairy armpits there just threw me through a loop. I'm going to brush right over it all. Same as what Paddy and Andy said.
That's hectic, James. Just cross the line there.
Tell them all right.
Brilliant. Well, stay tuned. Stay tuned. As both guys touched on, Paddy and Andy, we are so dynamic in the attack. And if you know the way teams set up, top tier teams like Bayern Munich set up, they've got people who investigate our players, right? And they'll be like, Dyson Maeda, when he receives the ball, he runs to the left-hand side 63% of the time. So they'll train and they'll verse for that. They'll stand off Dyson Maeda, they'll let him have the ball. Now it's very fluid, so they need to do that with every single player across their back line, because Dyson Maeda can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can go through the middle. And we've got Jota on the left, Jota can play on the right. Jota, never seen him go through the middle, but I wouldn't put it past him. And Kuhn, just to sum it up, Dyson Maeda's running power is absolutely outstanding, right? He's literally unmatched, other than by Nicholas Kuhn, who is like a plastic bag on the wind. He travels at such pace and so graceful, there's just no touching him. He's an excellent player. No wonder Germany are looking at him, and Andy's correct. If he gets in that squad, we are talking astronomical prices for him. It's a question of keeping a hold of him. And why would he not get in that squad? Look at the way he plays. Look at what he brings to that side. The only thing I could say about Nicholas Kuhn that he could learn from Jota is Jota knows how to turn up in the big games. Nicholas Kuhn in some of the very, very big games, sometimes he's been missing. It's not a slight on him. The games have been massive. The Dortmund game, he was completely missing in. But I think he was more trying to defend and track back and help back. So I didn't want to be too harsh on him about it. But he tends to not show up in some big games. You can certainly pick that up from Jota. I believe when Kuhn scored, he's sort of walking away with pride, like throwing down the gauntlet. I got that kind of like a matador walking away after a bullfight and like, this is what I done, sort of vibe from it. So I hope he was throwing the gauntlet back down to Maeda and to Jota, and they're all going to start entering some sort of competition with each other, just pushing each other to new levels, higher and higher, because we are going to profit from it. We are going to get to see some of the most amazing football we have ever seen for years at Glasgow Celtic. And he was also spot on. Big Adam Ida has really turned a corner. Those goals he got in the Champions League, they've just woke him up. Big 420 Adam Ida, as cool as a cucumber. Still waters run deep, some people used to say. But big Adam is coming alive as well. He's got his goal as well. Excellent finish. The fact that he went down and got back up showed his physicality, his ability, and still rifled that right in the top of the net. Just absolutely excellent the way everything's going right now.
Aye.
The good stuff.
And
Fresh air.
he should have scored again a couple of minutes later. Maeda down the left-hand side squared it, and he was unlucky at the near post. So, gentlemen, it finished Celtic 6, Dundee 0. Absolutely domination, complete domination, Andy. Great to see, spraying the ball about like 1970 Brazil, mate. Well, just unbelievable tonight. And just great to see, mate. It was just good to see us, you know, all singing, all dancing. 6-0, mate. What more can you say?
Delighted, and another really good thing is to see as a team are still putting all the work in, try to close people down, try to get more goals. Even when they're 6-0 up, they're still all running about or fully committed. And it's just great to see that. We Celtic against some games in the past few weeks, you're kind of looking at them and they kind of take the foot off the pedal. The foot was on the gas the whole night, and it's delightful to see. So we've got the game against Raith Rovers. I think we might see a few changes getting into that game. And then we've got a big game against Bayern at Celtic Park. Celtic Park is going to be electric. And if Celtic, the same Celtic that turned up with the same attitude and the same work ethic and pressing and fighting for the ball and no giving up, turn up against Bayern, Bayern's going to have a hard game at Celtic Park, I think. But I think above all, the fans have got to put as much effort into it as the players are, because the fans lift the players beyond belief. And they've mentioned that in the past. And I've seen guys like Foster, goalkeeper that's got his own podcast as well, talking about players saying they just suck the ball into the goal. That's how important the fans are going to be against Bayern. All right, we've got a Raith game to come at Celtic Park beforehand, but just kind of looking ahead to that, I can't wait for the Bayern game. And I know a lot of people will be sitting watching it through their phones or behind 16 couches, and it might not be enough, but I think we need to look forward to it and really believe in ourselves. Just have a bit of belief. If we get in thinking we're going to get smashed, then we're going to get smashed. But again, believe you're going to do something, then you've got a chance. We've always got a chance, especially at Celtic Park. If we can get something out of that, then it's positive vibes going to Munich. And the good thing is the fans are going to be in Munich, I know. So I feel like booking a flight now. Do you know that? I really do. I don't even think I can get time off work. But fuck work. Fuck Jesus. I'm only kidding. But fuck you.
And the time you get loaded up, you can get a flight to fucking Germany and back anyway, mate. So don't worry about it.
I know, mate. I know.
Paddy, just unbelievable tonight, mate. 6-0. Just the boys were brilliant, weren't they, mate? And I think the good thing is, Andy just sort of touched on there, is that we can rest a few players up for the Raith Rovers game. And just a quick word on Schlupp, who we've not really mentioned yet either. I thought he looked very assured when he came on, showed his experience, some nice touches. He's a unit. I think he's going to be a good signing for us, mate. A very versatile player and very comfortable on the ball.
He is, Scott. The only thing about him is, I thought he looked a bit heavy-legged, even though he was only on for a few minutes. But again, he hasn't had much football, hasn't had an awful lot of football recently, so he'll need a bit of time to get up to speed. And I see a few of the viewers are thinking about him for Bayern, but I can't think for 1 second that he'll be risked against Bayern with the speed and the pace that they have in their team. You need to give the guy a chance to get fit. But overall tonight, just brilliant performance, fantastic attitude from the players. Maybe not always easy. Just we've had some big games recently, and but for them with the prospect of going 13 points clear, for the players to come out and put on that kind of a performance, the level of commitment, the intensity that they played right through the game was just unbelievable. But again, we've talked about them, but for me, Engels and Dyson Maeda, just unbelievable, two unbelievable players, especially Maeda. I don't like giving anybody in front of my man Engels, but you have to give it to Dyson Maeda tonight. The wee man is just absolutely on fire, and I think somebody mentioned it earlier on in the chat there. If we have a few million lines spare from not signing a striker, they could do worse than get wee Dyson on a long-term contract, because we need to think about getting this guy tied down. Because he's been producing in the league, he's been producing in the cups, he's doing it in Europe, and that's only a matter of time until some of the big clubs come calling there as well. So we need to get this wee man nailed down as well on a long-term contract to to safeguard him, to make sure that worst case scenario, at least you get your proper fee for him if he does go. But just an absolute pleasure to watch them tonight. Again, somebody else mentioned that, that this is usually the time of the year that Celtic come alive. We usually produce our best football in the weeks after after Christmas and New Year, and it's starting to look like that again. We're just starting to build up. We're on a roll, and we're just starting to build momentum. And when you look at the games that are coming up for us, but touching on the Wraith Rovers game, there will be changes for that game. Brendan's going to be looking at that with one eye on Bayern Munich there. There's no question of that. Anybody that may be carrying any sort of a knock, any semblance of a doubt at all, they won't be involved at the weekend because he'll want to have his full squad to choose from for Bayern. But that being said, and with no disrespect to Wraith Rovers, we should be able to put out a team at Celtic Park that will take care of business there without too much trouble. But on tonight's display, can't ask for any more. Just brilliant commitment, intensity, goals, quality all over the park. And we must be an absolutely frightening proposition for any of the other teams in Scotland looking about coming to play at Celtic Park soon.
Yeah, mate, big time, mate, big time. And Kaiser, you had a big sloop on the screen behind you there a minute ago. Is he going to make an appearance again? I seen him just 2 minutes ago when Paddy was talking. Can't hear you, mate. Are you muted?
Sorry,
again?
I'll bring it back on. Turn the mic off because my son came in, mate. It lights up as well, so I don't forget about it. But I'm looking at the screen and it's not there. See it?
Just an unbelievable performance, Kaiser, for the boys. 6-0, knocking it about like Barcelona. Unbelievable goals. There was 3 goal of the season contenders already in there. Hatate, brilliant. Taylor Jota down the left, brilliant. And just the full team, mate, really just unbelievable, really. And hopefully we can rest a few of the boys for the Wraith Rovers game.
Well, I don't think we're going to do that, Scotty boy. I think we're going to really attack it. This was the Celtic community after the transfer window pain sitting there. But the big man closes a window and sometimes he swings the door open and you get a surprise. What sexual, beautiful football we played tonight. Utterly stellar all over the park. Engels was outstanding, both in open play and his penalty, amazing. Paddy's spot on. Only pipped by Dyson Maeda because his performance, the way he took his goal. We are utterly frightening across the forward area. Players being rested, players coming back. I don't think we're going to take the foot off the gas versus anyone. I think we're going to bring that kind of play, that intent, closing down in the press, non-stop, full speed, constantly, because that's what we want to take into that Bayern Munich game at Paradise. They should be very fearful if we're going to play like that. I seen that Carly said in the chat there, with the greatest respect to them, I know they're a good side, so I'm only going to say 3-0 to Celtic. I love that confidence. That's what I was celebrating. And I had the Mr. T on in the background, but it's a reface one. He's got my face on it. So I'll throw it back up there right now. It's just, you need to go through the files and stuff. And I'm trying to tell you, but I'm talking the mic's off, you know what I mean? Utter spoon. I've got hunters here. I used to make them on that reface app. That's Kaiser T. Whoa. Whoa.
So as
I've got hunters here, bro. I've got. I used to make them all the time. I used them when I was live streaming, advertising for alerts and stuff. They would play in the background when people subscribe or stuff. I would give people a nightmare fuel there with this one. You know what I mean? A bit of satisfaction. Kaiser's every woman. That's me. It's all me, baby. Take it down.
Yeah, Scotty's going to be sliding into your DMs in a minute, mate.
There's some Scotty's already in there. He's sent me all the sausage pictures already.
Easy.
So,
ladies and gentlemen, it finished Celtic 6, Dundee 0. Kaiser, I just want you to give a wee shout out, mate, for your show tomorrow morning for those who wish to tune in and see more of your patter, mate. Go for it.
Yeah, Legends tomorrow, 11:30. Make sure you tune in with Kaiser. The boys give me the keys to the channel, so it's just crazy, insane stuff. We try and have fun, talk about Celtic, raise awareness of the channel, get it shared out there, and hopefully get more subscribers and stuff to the channel by bringing more content. And we're all for it. Scotty sent us a picture earlier on and says we've gained up to 500 subscribers this month alone. So since we hit 1,000, we've gained 500. So it's very much snowballing, and that's all down to you in the community. Absolute legends. Liking the videos, subscribing when you're new, sharing the content. The legends on Facebook as well, I believe, are sharing it out there. I joined the Facebook group and that I get invited in, but it's in my real name, so it might not be best to operate online in my real name. I tend to keep it secret.
Tomorrow morning,
lads. Basically, Kaiser's doing one on a Tuesday and a Thursday morning from 11:30 a.m. He had his first one there on Tuesday. So if you want to jump on the YouTube page and check that out, it's currently run about 1,000 views on that, which is incredible, really, for that time in the morning. So we're going to test it out for about a month or so, see how he gets on. But he's got off to a flyer, and I watched it myself, so did Andy, and it was excellent viewing. So jump on there and check our Kaiser out.
Morning with the Kaiser.
Aye, that's it. And Kaiser will be back with you tomorrow morning. We'll be back with you on Friday night as well for a full podcast for the Friday Focus show. We'll be back with you after the Raith Rovers game as well for a post-match show. So lots of content coming up. Thank you so much, Andy, for jumping on. Paddy, thank you as well, sir, for jumping on. And Kaiser, yourself, mate. And we'll hand the keys over to yourself again, mate, for tomorrow morning. So we'll look forward to watching that one again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. This has been the post-match show for Celtic versus Dundee. 6-0, 13 points clear. Absolutely flying, playing wonderful stuff. Kaiser will see you all tomorrow morning at 11:30 a.m. UK time, because we are an international podcast. Cheers.
Hail, hail, guys.
Hail.
Hail.